Hello, everybody. Dave Neal here, stand-up comic, power recapper, barrel scraper, and host of Bachelor Nation News. How you doing today? We are in the midst of the off-season. No episodes till July 11th, 2022. But is there stuff to talk about anyway? Well, no, not really, to be honest. But we're here regardless, killing time as you do. Bachelor in Paradise bound, ? Oh, the alliteration just knows no bounds. Corinne, old villain, pre-Demi, Demi 1.0. Wealthy Corinne might be going back on Bachelor in Paradise. Would you guys like to see her on there? It's been a little bit. Or is she on another show? We're going to get into that. Do me a favor. Follow me on Instagram at DNeals for my stand-up show updates. I've got 2 stand-up shows in Chicago next week. Friday night, 7 p.m. Saturday night, 10 p.m. Saturday night is at Zany's. Friday night is at a lounge. It's like a storytelling show, which I've actually never really done a storytelling show before. I'm essentially going to be telling... Yes, it'll be fun. Let me know if you guys want to come to that. I'll be in Chicago. And also at DePaul University, I'm going to be talking to the Bachelor class. Oh, that's right, Professor Dave. Do I get an honorary degree? What do I get? Do I get a meal plan? Can I come? Can I go to lunch? Okay, just give me some dining hall credits. All right, so let's get into it. Here she is. Corinne posts this. Q&A. You know, influencers will do a Q&A whenever they need to get their engagement up. Because trust me, I don't think they really care to talk to their audience. It's just, it's self-serving. But I can't blame her. Do you want to be on a reality TV show again? She said, sooner than you think. Googly eyes. So the question is she going onto sand? We'll get into that in a second. She said this afterwards on her Instagram stories. I feel like you talked about doing stand-up before. Are you still doing that? Would Def go? Now, look, stand-up comedy, anybody can get into it. You know, there's other, certain famous people that got into it. A lot of pro wrestlers, Steve-O. Anyone can get into it. She said, yes, just had my last show in February, March, April. Look, to me, I don't take anybody seriously unless they're doing stand-up 3 to 5 times per week. But she did a show in February. Okay, March, April, that's only a quarter of a year ago. Working on a bunch of new things and material and getting the podcast back up and running since it's more of a life podcast, stand-up comedy show. I'm working on booking a bunch of fun guests for you again. Also, it was really fun having Nick on last time. And my biggest question I'd like to ask her in the Q&A, how do you get those pants off? I can understand it's hard to get them on. I know a lot of women will do that sort of jig thing you got to do. You know, I can't do it on my standing treadmill. I feel like you do a lot of jigging to get, those pants on. But getting them off, do you just scissor? Do you cut them off like you're an EMT going into surgery? How do you get those? I imagine they don't breathe. Anyway, that's another point of this story. Anyway, so there she is talking about doing stand-up. I've been doing stand-up for a decade, and I've been posting certain shows, not all of them because some suck. I've been posting certain shows on my Patreon, which is a private membership-only community. I'm doing, God knows, 10, 15 hours of extra content a week on there. Here's a quick bit, some crowd work I was doing to an audience of women. 30-somethings. I don't know. We're not asking. Okay, she's like, I'm 30. What do you need? 30s, 20s? Who cares, right? Whatever. You've all got weighted blankets. We're all fine. Right? That's a weighted blanket table right there, I can tell. I get to meet a guy who's bought a weighted blanket. Do they even sell them to men? You bought a weighted blanket, they come in 25 pounds or 50 pounds, depending on if your uncle touched you growing up. That one, okay, we got some groans, but hey, that's what stand-up's all about. Anyway, you can catch that full set on my Patreon or just you'll see the clips on social media. All right, so we're going on. So I made this video last week about Demi. Corinne was spotted, speaking about Corinne, wealth, Corinne was spotted with him in Miami. I mean, it's kind of the perfect pairing, if you ask me. We'll show you the article and what Corinne's been up to. Do me a favor, follow me on Instagram. Okay. So anyway, the point is, she was spotted. There isn't much else to see here. She was spotted with Scott. I've been accused of looking like a Scott Disick. I don't know if that's a compliment or not. I don't have the wealth or the sleaze. But maybe if I had the wealth, I would have the sleaze. Who knows? Maybe I'd be like could you imagine club promoter Dave? That would just not be a look. Anyway, so there he is, hanging out with Demi 1.0, Corinne Demi 2.0, whoever she is. You know me, I personally am not really Whenever you get these privileged folks that are on The Bachelor, she's got a nanny. She's kind of prissy. It's like, is she funny? Sure. But I'd have a hard time believing, like, how relatable could she be as a stand-up comedian? Could you imagine? Oh, you know what it's like growing up with a nanny, right, audience? Hello? I don't know. Maybe she's funny. But I'd have to see a set before I could judge. I Googled it to see if I could see her stand-up comedy set. It wasn't out there. Usually when a set goes well, you put it out there, and when it doesn't, you don't. Go to my Patreon. Man, it's okay. 150 people. It was outdoors. It's hard to get a laugh outside because the laughs don't reverberate, you know what I mean? But I still feel like it picked up, a decent amount of the audience.
Then I got one fan over here nailing it with the spring technology. Memory foam was invented by NASA.
Okay, so anyway, I could keep going. You've been doing this set for a while, talking about memory foam. It's funny how a bit evolves because it's such a stupid, irreverent joke. Do I think she'll be on Bachelor in Paradise? No, I don't. I don't think she'll do Bachelor in Paradise. But, if we look at Corinne's Instagram, she's only at like 700,000+ people. And, if you were Corinne, you could say, all right, Bachelor has a high turnover of fans, so theoretically, there's a lot of people that haven't watched her because she hasn't been on since Nick Viall's season. But she did Bachelor in Paradise after it. But that's been a little bit. Nick Viall, small YouTuber. He's been around the game for a couple minutes, and she's could probably benefit from a new audience. What's up with those toes though? Oh, they're in the. I didn't realize they were seeping into the soil there. Bad Photoshop. Anyway, that was a very funny TV show if you never watched it. Let's check out some other news in Bachelor Nation. Regarding Bachelor in Paradise.
Would be so much better with Wells. It's supposed to be fun. We can't be going from a wacky season of rotating hosts to then now just going with like a serious host. Like, no offense to Jesse Palmer, but it's just like maybe from what we saw in The Bachelor, there wasn't a lot of big comedic moments for him. Maybe they happened and we didn't see it.
Yeah.
I just feel like Wells would have been so much better.
Right. And I think that we all wanted Wells, but maybe they feel like having Jesse keep things as planned, and then Wells will come in with the comedic relief.
He'll still be the bartender.
And he'll still be the bartender, and that's what he does, but make the bartender the host. Like, just have him host from behind the bar.
I know.
It seems like a no-brainer, but clearly they think they have better brains than us, and they're not going to listen to us and what all the fans want. Yeah. So be it. Jesse Palmer
kind of
will
a
host.
big slap in the face to all the fans who've been fighting for Wells to be the host.
And Wells did say on our podcast that he would love to do it.
Paradise would.
I don't know if all the fans, maybe all of their fans want Wells, but Jesse Palmer's a good guy. Jesse Palmer did a real serviceable job as the host. The host should be the bedrock of the show. They shouldn't, I do like the idea of Wells as a sidekick character. I think he could be fine as a host. I think the crab, that's rolling up in their, palapa could be fine as the host. It's not exactly a high IQ job. With that said, Jesse Palmer might bring out more of his goofy side, which he showed. Remember when Jesse Palmer did the eye thing? I can't really do it. He did that eye thing or whatever. When it was like, Rachel's not going to be the bachelor. Rachel is not the bachelorette. Gabby's not the bachelorette. They're both a bachelorette. Blah, blah, blah. That moment was great. I thought it was good. So anyway, I think we can use more of Jesse Palmer, and I think he gets a bad rap, but we'll have to see. And he does have superiority. He was, season 4 of The Bachelor? So he's been around the block. And anyway, so he's going to be the next Bachelor in Paradise host. Not everyone loves it, but we'll have to see how that goes. Oh, yeah, let's show a little bit of what Becca's talking about.
I just have to say, I have no idea how I got to where I am right now. In
I like
so many different areas of my life, but I'm so freaking happy and grateful.
Good.
It's just wild how...
Nice freckles.
I don't know. Just my dreams are coming true. And it's not lost on me what an absolute, privilege and blessing that is.
Oh, how nice.
Just with my family, I'm, living my dream. I've got 2 incredible kids. The most perfect... Well, he's not perfect, but you know what I mean. Boyfriend and dad... Well, he's a dad. He's not my dad.
Daddy.
Anyway, family life is good, and I just would spend every moment of my day with them if I could. Maybe not every moment. Maybe 5 to 7 hours of every day. And then just like career-wise, dude, like I make a living from sharing my opinions on a podcast and on Instagram.
It's true.
That is so cool. Like, just with the podcast, I talked about in high school and early in college how much I wanted to do radio because I just thought it was such a cool avenue, and I never dreamed that I would have a podcast talk show of my own and that I would be making my money from that.
It's awesome.
That's just the tip of the iceberg. Like, look, I'm wearing my little shorts from last year's launch, and I'm getting so sentimental because the new drop that we're planning.
All right, get to the point.
Oh, and then today, I haven't been talking about this because I've just learned you don't talk about certain things until they're actually happening. But today,
like threesomes,
I got to practice pitching a TV show loosely based around my life.
That would be interesting. As we know, she went on The Bachelor. After she left The Bachelor, in order to make money, she went to Humboldt County, California, to harvest weed and didn't have a cell phone or whatever. And then she was reported as missing. And then she had to go on late night TV saying, "I'm not missing." And then she's okay. Yeah, you're right. You've had a pretty interesting life.
With a writer I've been working with. Yeah. Like, what?
I'm going to pitch a TV show as a power recapper, recapping stories like that. I want a spin-off show. Anyway, so good for her. Let's see if there's any more information regarding...
Oh, and also, I forgot. I've been talking with my management team about developing a sexual wellness line.
Cool.
Oh, yes. And also, we have a new nanny coming in next week, but the past 3 weeks have been...
Okay.
Oh, yes.
So there it is. Okay, very nice. Now, Becca, look, I have to say, there's the Chatty Broads. I have to say, big fan of what they do. I just can't believe. I mean, are they going to have every comedian in Los Angeles on their show before me? My DMs are open. Like, let's get to it, ladies. What are we doing? You know what I mean? Anyway, congrats on all the success. That's really cool. I think a TV show idea. I'd love to know the angle of it. Sounds like fun. And that's my update. You know, of course, it's barrel scraping season, and during barrel scraping season, we do what we can to scrape that barrel.
Barrel scraping,
and that's all we can do, right? My hair
is
scraping the barrel today. Boy, we could use a little maybe castor oil or some Moroccan oil in there, a little argan oil for the sides. Anyway, yeah, there's a bunch of little stories. We're trying to combine them all. Do me a favor. If you want to check out some non-Bachelor content, we're crushing it on the Dave Neal Show. Yesterday, I released what I believe to be one of my more fun and interesting videos, which is about the UFO congressional hearing that happened. We watched it, and we watched a bunch of old men sort of like fiddle with the projector, and they like had to learn how to pause. I mean, it was a real endearing yet hilarious thing to see old men talking about UFOs and be like, "These are senators we've voted in to represent us," and they're like, "How do you have to pause them?" You know. Anyway, you'll like it. Let me know what you guys think, and I will talk to you all in a little bit. Oh yeah, I'm going live today at 2 p.m. Pacific time to recap today's Amber Heard Johnny Depp trial. So go check that out on the Dave Neal Show, 2 p.m. Pacific, 5 p.m. East Coast. Bye guys.